The Transportation Advisory Board is a creature of statute, I think necessitated by a 1974 decision of the federal government that a certain number of elected officials had to be involved in making decisions with respect to highway user trust fund money that was sent down to the regions to be spent by the designated Metropolitan Planning Organization. And of course, the Met Council is the MPO here, and those are not elected folks, so this hybrid was created. Everything that TAB deals with involves some aspect of regional transportation, whether it's roads, bridges, transit, bike and pedestrian activities.
TAB is a body made up of some elected and some appointed officials that really represents a regional policy-making body. Each county in the region has a representative on TAB, and then there are representatives of a number of cities in the region as well, and then there are appointees of several state agencies, and then there are a number of citizen representatives as well.
The federal government regularly makes funds available to regions for transportation projects, and in this region, the Transportation Advisory Board is the entity that's making recommendations about how to spend those funds. We do that through the solicitation, and that's a process that takes place every couple of years. An entity like a city that might have a road project would wait for an advertisement of the regional solicitation. It would receive the application, it would complete it. It then comes to committees of the TAB that then score the application. Those scores are sent on to the Transportation Advisory Board. They rank the various projects, and we make decisions about which projects should be funded in the various categories based upon the scores that they've received. 33 is a lot of people, so it's a big board. Challenge, I think, for all these boards is you want people to represent different viewpoints, but at some point they need to think regionally. And so there's that inherent tension between what's my area getting and what's the region need. And so 33 people, that's a lot of viewpoints to bring to the table, but ultimately it seems to me you'll see a lot of regional thinking coming out of the TAB as well.
In Minnesota, you know, you're always pleased to find out that there's a real high level of cooperation and collaboration amongst folks, that it's not just what's in it for me, it's what's in it for us. How can we make our region stronger? How can we make it more effective from an economic standpoint? How do we move our people around more effectively and efficiently, and our goods too? It's a key element, I think, in making sure that our region functions as well as it can function, that as we go through these solicitations time after time on these 2-year sequences, that we're constantly working at improving the lives of people. And the TAB has an important role to play in all of this.
I would never try to have that many people on a board like this, but in this case it seems to work. People do tend to think regionally in this body. When it comes to allocating money, that's obviously a very serious thing that TAB does. When you look back at how that process has worked and the consensus that has been arrived at over the years, I'd have to say yes, TAB works very well together. The end result of that is quality of life for people in the region. So whether they're going to church or going to work, coming home, going to the market, whether they're doing that by transit or riding on a bike or by vehicle, they're probably riding at some point on a road that's been funded by TAB.
Everybody, I think, wants to see these regional sorts of improvements that serves on the TAB, and that's been one of the real highlights for me, is this sort of common goal of making our region a first-rate place to live.